Alrighty guys, as you bring us into the Dragon Ball Legends ToP guide video. This is going to be for season 77, but last season we did end off at rank 3920. Nothing too special about last season, but it definitely just felt like a standard run, right? With that rank, we did not get the top cut title, but we did get the prize winner title. Although, in the end, all that matters is that we do secure that juicy 1000 CC, right? Hopefully, you guys did too, because that's what these videos are all about, right? If we're not all getting that 1000 CC, then I failed you guys. That being said, before we continue, there will always be timestamps in the description down below. That way you guys can go ahead and get to where you need to go. So the first thing we will be talking about is our general tips right here. So the first tip I'm going to give you guys is friendship rank. Your friendship rank is so important. Get that up on all your ToP characters. Obviously prioritize your most important ones. Like for me, for example, if you're barely starting out with regeneration, I would say one of your most important units is going to be the Super Baby 2. Or it's going to be the Boo Tanks right here, right? Boo Tanks, because he's a guaranteed super attacker. He's always on my teams regardless of tier. Same thing said by Super Baby 2. He's always on my teams regardless of tier, just because of his healing potential, right? So we have him at friendship rank 10 right here. If we take a look at his regular stats, you can see those stats being diminished, right? And so when you compare them side by side, like I have on the screen right here, you're going to see a jump in all the stats, right, including key restore speed, right? So key restore speed is probably like one of the most important ones because that dictates your attack order, whether your unit's going to attack first, last, or in the middle of the turn. And in order to get your friendship rank up, you do want to do your Let's Fight events. This is the easiest way to do it, I think, and it's you get 3 of these a day, right? You just have to do 3 stages daily. Another way to do this is if you do want to go into story mode, you can go to part 6, book 1, Chapter 8, and it is against the Cielo Super Saiyan 3 Goku. You can farm your friendship rank with this stage right here specifically, and it's kind of nice because you can do it for 3 characters at once versus doing it 1 character at a time with the Let's Fight event. But the rate of in which you get that friendship rank points is so low, it's so tedious that I hardly recommend doing this. In order to make this grind a little bit more easier for you guys, I do recommend you building a team of characters in which these are the characters that you're going to want to build that friendship rank up with. And then on all of those units, put this equip on, right? Because this unit does stack. That's why you can put it on all 3 slots. You can put it on all of your characters, and it all stacks together. Even if you're only bringing 1 unit into the Let's Fight event, for example, this will all build up for you. So 3% to in the first slot, second slot, and in the third slot for a total of 9% altogether, just in 1 equip right here, right? And you don't have to max this out or anything like that. You can get this from the equipment metal shop. You're just at least having a copy of this equip on every single character in every single slot. And as for your regular equips, because remember, PvP equips are separate from ToP equips, you go into the exchange shop, you're going to go into this specific one, and there's a tab that says ToPs, right? I always recommend this equip. It's a very easy equip to get. It's only 1 slot. That's okay. It's to your base health. I like that a lot. Some people might disagree with that. This is what I go with. Another one that I really like a lot that I recommend is this one right here. The only thing that sucks about this, because it's 3 slots, right? And it also has base health, so it's really good. The thing that sucks about this the most is that your unit has to be 7 stars or above. Now, if you don't have your unit 7 stars or above, you're going to have to supplement that equip with one of these silver equips down here, and it's going to be delegated to your typing, right? So if you have a range type unit, you're probably going to go ahead and get this one. And you can see right here, these ones are only 2 slots, and they're without the health buff, right? But again, melee type right there, you're going to see it for all the typings, and then I think you have them for all the colors as well. And as for your third equip, you want to use one of these equips up here, another gold slot, right? So 3 slots right here, no health buff or anything like that, but these are also, the conditions for this will be depending on your unit type, right? So melee, support, defensive, and ranged. There is not gold equips for color-based yet. And I am going to tell you right now, the arts boost does help your unit in ToP. Specifically, the defense boost, I think, is the best option here because, or not the defense, the special boost, because it buffs your defenses right here, right? So the tankier, the better for ToP. But this is the last resort. If you're a PvP player primarily, focus these resources on your PvP units first, of course. All right, and so now we're going to be talking about our pathing right here. So we're going to try, I always do try to make these paths as easy as possible. Remember, the red fights are going to be your big win fights. This game mode does reward you based off of your win streak bonus, right? So on your 5th, 10th, 15th, 20th, 25th win, you get an increase to the points that you're going to receive rather than when you're going on your first fight, your third fight, your 23rd fight, stuff like that, right? So definitely do try to land on those red circled stages that I have marked right here. If you deviate off the blue pathing, that's not a big deal, and I'm not going to go ahead and criticize you for doing that, but I do recommend landing on those red path or the red tiles. So now let's go into our actual pathing tips right here. We're going to go over the most difficult fights that we're going to come across in the season. This is the first fight you encounter right here. So this is the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Frieza stage. Target that Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken first. He will super you on turn 2 with a high key restore speed. And then I do like to go for the Frieza last. That's my own personal preference. Just keep in mind that full power Frieza will super attack you upon getting hit with a Blast Arts attack. So if you want to avoid that completely, you can switch all your units over to strike base. To switch your units over to strike base, you go ahead and just simply select on the character. Immediately to the left of their HP, you're going to see a little blast icon. Click on that, choose your attack strategy. Boom, you can hit them to strike. Hit confirm, and that's a strike unit now. And then obviously once the fight is over, go back to it, hit the blast icon, swap him back over to blast. But by me saving him for last, I'm basically leaving it up to RNG if he hits that super attack on me or not. Alright, so we have the sagas from the movie stage. I'm going to just go ahead and throw this out here real quick. I do like getting this red Tapion before turn 2, because on turn 2, he uses his green card on one of your units. It's not going to be on all of your units. On one specific unit, he will reduce their super gauge down to 0%. And so it is kind of annoying. So when I do see him, when I do fight him, I usually target him. So next we do have this regeneration stage right here, / androids, right? What you're going to want to do here is you want to kill the green 21 first. That green 21 does have a stun. I believe it's at the end of turn 2 or at the beginning of turn 2. Just kill her in turn 1. And then also kill this yellow android 16 at the end, right? That's your last targeted unit right there, just because of the fact he will give a buff to all of his android allies upon death. And I mean, 21 obviously counts as an android right here. There's 4 of them. The next is this regeneration fight right here. This one's going to be a little bit difficult just because it's a cohesive team right here. But the main unit you want to get out of the way is the Legends Limited Piccolo, because he will super attack you on turn 3. And he does have a high key restore speed once he transforms. So next we're going to mention this this boss fight right here, right? It's the first boss fight. It's against Future. This one's not going to be as bad as Future typically is, just because Ultra Rose is missing from the roster. Ultra Rose, if you don't know, he does have a guaranteed super attack, so you don't have to worry about that in this fight. So what I would do, personally, I'm going for Ultra Vegeta first, and then I'm going for Corrupted Zamasu last. The reason why I'm going for Corrupted Zamasu last is because once you defeat him, he basically inflicts so many debuffs upon your team, and so I do recommend taking him out last if that's okay. I mean, obviously, if you have like if you're bringing in a yellow unit, you're probably not going to want to save him for last, right? So it's up to you. So next we have this very like oddball stage right here. I don't really know what to call this, but Whis is here, right? So the purple Whis, he will stun you at the beginning of turn 2, so target him turn 1, get him out of the way. You don't have to worry about the stun. So next we also have this sagas from the movie stage. There's not really a big threat here. Pretty much what I would recommend though is just saving the yellow Goku and the purple Cooler for the 5th and 6th slot. It doesn't really matter which one is which, right? You can target Cooler 5th and then the Goku 6th, but I just like targeting those 2 last. The Cooler, because every time you hit him, he's going to be buffing up sagas from the movie's allies, and then this Goku, every time you hit him, he's going to be healing his allies, and I'm pretty sure he also does buff them, healing himself too. Next we have this Saiyan Saga fight. Legends Limited Piccolo is still the biggest threat here. Turn 3 super guaranteed. Kill him before that happens. You do have a little bit of leeway before that, so maybe go for the blue Nappa, because that blue Nappa is giving you a board-wide debuff every turn. And the last fight we're going to be taking on is this USS fight. This is going to be extremely difficult. They're all bad, by the way. This isn't me just looking at it and being like, oh, this is going to be the easiest one. They're all pretty bad, so you might as well try to go for the 5th stage. Obviously, you can go to this 4th stage if you really want to. I mean, there's still a stun here and a tag unit. This purple Jiren stuns turn 1. Nothing you can do about it. And then on this side of things right here, you still have... It's basically the same team, but 1 difficulty lower, right? So you might as well just go for the 5th stage right here. Good luck. But that pretty much wraps it up for the team pathing, or that pretty much wraps it up for the pathing tips. If you guys think that there is a fight that I didn't cover that I should have, let me know. So now let's move into our top teams right here. So I'm not gonna go too detailed on this right here. Right hand side, you guys already know the deal. I got someone from the top 100. This dude's ranked 48 right now with the Saiyans team. The biggest thing that I'm gonna tell you guys about Saiyans is two things. So RADITZ, this guy, obviously we're gonna go more into detail in the new character segment. He gets a guaranteed super attack. That's pretty much enough said about him. But not only that, he is in Z tier. I think everyone should be taking advantage of this unit for this season. He's a free-to-play unit, man. Like, he's so easy to farm. And then him being Z tier, having an actually great kit for ToP, I think it's a no-brainer to actually go ahead and bring him in right here, right? And then as for the rest of Saiyans, the second thing I want to tell you guys is that there's so many options. It's actually insane. Like, this is the Z tier list for Saiyans right here. So right off rip, I can tell you guys right now that RADITZ is amazing. This Fasha is really good just because of the fact that she has healing potential, right? So she's healing ally tag Team Bardock. And even if we go into S tier, you have two healers in here. You have this guy, who I do recommend for Saiyans. I think he's really good. I think a lot of people would agree that he's really good. He has an indiscriminate heal, meaning that it doesn't matter what tag they are. He just heals allies in range at the start of the second turn by 5%. That's a good amount. And you also, if you want to stretch your resources a little bit thin, right? I don't think it's going to make the biggest difference. This Kale doesn't buff Saiyans, but does have a heal as well. Restores health by 2%, activates twice at the end of turn, plus giving support, right? Specifically for Rival Universe or Tag Girls. Obviously going to be better on those teams specifically, but can be a healer nonetheless for your team. And then, right, another big thing that I do want to tell you guys is, I mean, I say this regardless, doesn't have to be Saiyan teams or not, pick up some C tier characters. Like, if you are unsure of your team, put in 2 C tier characters. Like, right off rip, again, this guy, he does not buff Saiyans, but it would be good to put him next to RADITZ. Why? Because this guy has a high key restore speed, so you know he's going to be attacking early on, right? Because look at his key restore speed, 2,670. That's ridiculous. Friendship rank 1, by the way. He gets a guaranteed super attack. He's probably going to be attacking first. He takes out the blue unit, and then boom, your red unit is free, which is going to be this RADITZ, and then he can go ahead and get his super attack. And then you have another red on here who was the Saiyan in red. Like, it's stuff like that that makes Saiyans so good, right? I legitimately believe you guys could go ahead and throw RADITZ and Rose on any kind of Saiyans team, and you guys would have some sort of success. Like, obviously, if you're playing it with your brain off, you might not have the best success, but those 2 units can carry on their own. Next thing we're going to be talking about is Frieza Force. Again, we have the rank 94 player right here on the right hand side using the Frieza Force. First unit that I'm going to be talking about is the RADITZ, dude. RADITZ. I think this is probably going to be one of the most broken teams this season. Like, this is literally free low right here. This is the freest team you could probably run. It doesn't even have to get you, as long as you're only going for the top, or not even the top 1K or anything like that, the 1000 CC, right? As long as you're just trying to guarantee that juicy 1000 CC, I think this is the team for you this season. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, right off rip on this team that I built right here, RADITZ, he does have the Frieza Force tag, and he is getting a guaranteed super attack, remember, at the start of battle. That is so huge. And then not only that, so that guy is Z tier, of course. S tier, you have some good options right here. Obviously, you have the blue Nappa as well. But even if again, don't be afraid of the C tier units. So let's take a look at these guys right here. Goku, Frieza. I'm always a big advocate for these guys because tag units in ToP are just broken. Like, they're just straight up broken. Goku and Frieza are probably like amongst the best tag unit for ToP. They're just really good, man. Like, extremely good. They're such a valuable asset for your team. Also in C tier is this yellow Frieza, who I believe is probably the best damage dealer in all of ToP. And the reason why is because he gets 100% to a special move gauge at the start, right? So literally at the start of battle. And then on the 4th turn, he gets another one. He gets another one and he upgrades it. He upgrades it to the ultimate. So special move turn 1, turn 4, he gets the ultimate arts, right? So that's already 3 super attacks right there. And then you can go even further than that if you really wanted to. If you went into B tier and you picked up this Frieza, could potentially get a guaranteed super attack, the full power Frieza. But you have a healer here, which is so nice, right? At the end of turn, ally tag Frieza Force, Lineage of Evil in range, restore health by 2%. So you're all set with this team, truly. truly. If you wanted to go into the details about this guy's buffing all allied tag, Frieza Force, everyone, all of them. It's not even in range. It's every single one of them that possesses that tag, which all of them do. This Nappa, we talk about how annoying of an enemy he is because he has full board debuffs. Like, you can't go wrong with this team. All right, so next thing we're going to be talking about is girls, but with Raditz, right? So this is the, as of recording at least, this is the #1 player. He's using a girls team with Raditz on there, and so this is kind of what I would do to kind of switch it. Obviously, we're not going for #1. I'm not going for #1. I don't know if you guys are going for #1, but this is probably what I would use as kind of a variation for the team. Obviously, first thing I'm doing here is I'm swapping out the 1000-day Bulma. I know most of you guys don't have the 1000-day Bulma. This Mai can kind of supplement that a little bit because she's still buffing your entire board. Doesn't matter what tag they are, just all allies, so which is nice, right? But then I also have Blue Kale down here. It's going to be healing, as you can see right here in that range, healing that Raditz specifically. We go into S tier right here. We have the Zenkai Kale. If we click on the Kale, protecting that Raditz, right? So kind of like Operation Protect Raditz in a way right here, right? Because she has a cover change. Before receiving a strike art to attack allies in range, you activate that cover change, right? And it has no health gate, which is why this red Kale so good. Reason why she's so heavily advocated for. Doesn't need to have 30% or below ally or anything like that. Just boom, flat out cover change. And then you also have stuff on here like this launch is buffing specifically element red, which is going to help Raditz. I believe that this Videl does the same thing too. Yeah, element red, right? So stuff like that, you're trying to get the most out of Raditz right here. Again, he's a Z tier unit, guaranteed super attack. You're going to have hopefully that damage there. I'm not sure how his damage would look like on this team like this, but at least like even with if you have Fasha in here, you're getting that Saiyan Z ability, right? And then that Fasha is also going to be healing herself. Unfortunately, not going to be healing any other allies because there's no Team Bardock here, but still. All right, so the next team we're going to be talking about is USS. So honestly, I'm not gonna lie. As of right now, it feels like a watered down version of the girls team, right? Because at least with the girls team, you're getting a little bit more support for that Z tier Raditz, but that doesn't mean this team is weak by any means. It's still a top team for the meta right here. So this is what the rank 5 player is running right now. So this is without Raditz. So being rank 5 without the Raditz help is pretty impressive. I would say is very impressive actually. First unit that I'm going to say is notable here is the Kale. Right, the Blue Kale, that is your support, that is your healer. I think she is a must run, and she is going to be in S tier right there. She's pretty much generalized to S tier at this point in time, but look at all the Z tier units you have for Universe Survival Saga. And not only that, again, if you are only just aiming to get enough high enough into the ranks to where you're just securing that 1000 CC, C tier is your best friend, bro. Look at this. You can put on the Goku and Final Form Frieza because they not only are they buffing Lineage of Evil and Saiyan, they also are buffing Universe Reps, which is huge. All right, and then not only that, who else am I going to talk about here? Obviously, the golden yellow Frieza giving you a super attack and an ultimate attack in the same fight. Like this is a wash right here. That's why I do like the universe generally more than the girls team. I like the USS team, Universe Reps team, whatever you want to call it, more than the girls team, right? They're very similar. They use a lot of the similar units and stuff like that for the most part, but when you're looking at Universal Survival Saga and Universe Reps, you have so many more options. Like, it's actually insane. Like, whereas when you're looking at girls, most of the teams, they want you to use 1000-day Bulma, right? And it's a lot of you guys don't have that unit specifically, but there's a lot of good options here, right? And so, of course, the team we will be running is Regeneration, right, with Raditz. So we'll just go through this pretty quickly. If you have the yellow metal cooler, I probably am going to recommend using him, especially if you have him at 6 stars or above, because he's like perma Z tier for whatever reason, but at the same time he's only been on a singular banner, so we are kicking him off the team unfortunately for now. Use him if you have him is basically what I'm going to go ahead and be saying to you. S tier, we are picking up 3 units here, so double purples I feel like was pretty helpful for us, especially since we have a lot of the blues going on. I enjoy it, you know, I like it a lot. So let's go ahead and continue that trend of having the double purples right here. we're going to be picking up the Cell, has the full board debuff. I really like that a lot. We're going to be having this Buon, has the damage mitigation and is range type, which does help. This guy also has full board debuffs right here, plus he has damage against Saiyan. He's not really here for the damage though, if I'm being real honest with you guys, but he is buffing the Saiyans, right? So he's buffing Saiyans. So if I take him off right here and I put him back on, boom, he's buffing that red Raditz at the very least. And then in A tier, we are picking up some of the event exclusive characters, specifically this yellow Cell. And this is a really good replacement right here because he has good support first off, right? I'm pretty sure he heals himself somewhere in here, or oh yeah, he does. At the end of turn, restores own health by 1%. But he's buffing event exclusive. The Raditz is event exclusive. Same thing with this Demon King Piccolo. This guy's event exclusive. Going to be buffing the Raditz as well. That guy also has debuffs. So lots of debuffs right here. We have super attacks right here. We have the damage output, which is going to be really, really good for us. And then in B tier, obviously that Boo Tanks, guaranteed super attack. And then C tier are Super Baby 2 for the supreme heals that he offers us, right? Because his heals are just so damn good. If you guys need any replacements for this team, let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys don't want to use Raditz, something I will go over right now is I do recommend using this guy. Piccolo Jr., I've heard that he's the carry. I've heard rumors that he should probably be my designated red unit. So if you have him, add a good amount of stars, get his friendship rank up. I actually have been getting his friend. Look, he's at friendship rank 10. So once I get the stars on him, we are going to be trying him out. So you can use that. That's one of your options. A tier, obviously, Buhan has never failed us. And then even in B tier, we have Red 21, who I do. This used to be my OG red unit right here. She is so good. She's at friendship rank 10. She's good to go whenever they give her a better tier or anything like that. She's a really good unit. So don't fret if you guys don't want to use the Raditz for your regeneration team and stuff like that. So you guys have a lot of options here, even without the Raditz. Just let me know in the comment section and we can work something out for you. All right, so for the final segment, the new Raditz right here, we're going to be taking a look at him at ToP stats. Well, he's already max stats. I don't even need to do that. So friendship rank 1, really low key restore speed. So you can expect his super attack to be landing at the end of your fights, right? He does have the blue card. He also has the ultimate, meaning that if you put him on a yellow tile, he's going to be upgrading that guaranteed super attack into a guaranteed ultimate attack. So that's also nice. His abilities now. On target hit, Sun Family or Regeneration, which makes sense, right? It's in line with his Saiyan arc. 25% damage inflicted. That's honestly not bad. There's a lot of regeneration teams. There's a lot of units that comprise Sun Family. Starter battle, 30% damage inflicted, 10% damage reduction, plus 10% to ki recovery. Percentage is really good. So first 2 turns, you're going to see him attack not exactly at the end. And then at the last 2 turns, he's going to be attacking you last. So then you got the 100% to special move gauge right off rep turn 1. Before receiving a blast arts, health is 30% or lower for your allies in range. You do have a cover change. At the end of the first turn, you activate your green card, which is giving you 40% to damage inflicted and canceling all your downgrades in abnormal conditions. On special move or ultimate arts hit, you inflict attribute downgrade plus 15% to blast damage received for 2 turns. That's good. That's really good. And you also inflict attribute downgrade minus 10% to ki recovery for 2 turns. Again, that's really good if you know you're not going to finish off your target with the super attack. Obviously, if it's against a yellow unit, you ult them. These debuffs don't really have the biggest impact for lasting 2 turns, right? Because they're just going to be dead. But still, great free-to-play unit. Excited to use him for, especially since he's in Z tier. All right, so the next unit we are going to be taking a look at, not necessarily a new unit, but a newly Zenkai unit. So we'll take a look at his max stats, ToP stats. Ki restore speed, Goku, at 2,409. Right, Goku from the Saiyan Saga. A lot of people call him feetku because they like to look at his feet because some of you guys are weirdos. But he does have the 2,409 ki recovery. It can only go up, right? It can only get better. Once it's at 10, it's probably go up to 2,500, maybe a little bit shy of that. I do have him at friendship rank 3. Has the blue card, the ultimate arts. Start of the turn, 40% to damage inflicted, minus 10% to damage received, 40 to ki recovery, not percent, just a flat 40. And at the start of turn, if there is another allied episode Saiyan Saga or tag Saiyan remaining, 20% to damage inflicted. So, I mean, he can pair well with the Raditz right here, right? And after receiving an attack, you restore your own health by 5%, activates twice. That's huge. I think he actually has had that before his Zenkai. That's really strong. And then you cancel your own attribute downgrades, activates twice, 5% to damage inflicted by allies in range. So obviously you can have him pocket your Raditz, right? You inflict enemy with attribute downgrade plus 20% to damage received, and inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade minus 5% to key recovery. So definitely not broken, but he's definitely not bad, right? I would say he's slightly above average, but nothing past that. And so that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for you guys' ToP guide video today. Thank you guys for being patient on the release of this video. Thank you guys for supporting. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns relating to the season or ToP in general, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later!